Hello, welcome. This tutorial is all about dolphin pose. This is one of my favorite poses, and it's a great one for building strength in the shoulders and the arms. It's also a great option to take if you've got some wrist sensitivity, if downward facing dog starts to cause any pain in the wrists. A beautiful option is dolphin pose. For this tutorial, we will play with a block and a strap, so go ahead and grab those now so you have them ready. And we will be using a loop in the strap, and you want that loop to be shoulder width distance. So you can go ahead and grab your props, start to make a loop in your strap, unroll your mat, and let's get started. So dolphin pose is just like downward facing dog, except you are on your forearms. I oftentimes see dolphin practiced with hands clasped together, which is one way to practice dolphin pose, but for today and the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to practice with the palms flat. So we're looking to have the elbows in line with the shoulders, one straight line, and then the wrists in line with the elbows. So if you were looking up from below your mat, this is what you would see. You would see palms flat and forearms flat on the ground, two parallel lines. To help us with this alignment, to make sure that we're staying within that safe, healthy alignment, we're going to use our strap and our block. So the strap, you should have your loop in your strap already. If not, go ahead and find your loop now. And you want that loop to be shoulder width distance, because that's how far apart we want the elbows to be. Now what you're going to do is slide your arms inside your loop and bring the loop just above the elbows so that you can easily bend at the elbows. Now, if you take hold of the bottoms of your triceps with opposite hands, the strap should be exactly this distance. So that's what you're looking for. Yeah? Awesome. And now the block is going to come in between the L shapes created by the index fingers and thumbs. So again, if you were looking up from underneath your mat, this is what you would see. You would see two palms flat with a block in between them and two straight lines created by the arms. Cool? All right, so let's go ahead and bring all that down onto the mat. So the block will come down, palms will go flat on either side of the block. So your thumbs are below the block and your index fingers are alongside the block. And you want the fingers spread wide, you want the palms flat on the earth. The forearms press down into the earth as well. And then from here, you're going to go ahead and tuck the toes underneath as you lift the knees and lift the hips high, just like your downward facing dog. And now the head here for dolphin pose, you typically want to relax the head. If you've got the strap between the arms, the forehead will kind of come on to the strap right now. Alternatively, you can bring the gaze in between the arms, so just into the space in between the arms. You don't want to crook the neck too much by trying to lift the gaze too high, but bringing the gaze just in between the arms is fine. Again, pressing down into the hands. You want to press the chest back towards the leg. Notice if you're collapsing down here in the shoulders, press the earth away, press the chest back towards the legs. The legs are active here, so same as in downward facing dog, the kneecaps pulling up towards the hip points, feet are parallel, the core is active, so the belly pulls up and in. And this is your dolphin pose. Go ahead and lower down from that. Dolphin pose is one of my favorite postures to build strength in. It's wonderful for building strength in the shoulders, in the arms. It's a great pose for strength building for things like arm balances, and for inversions, but also for your chaturangas as well. So to take a look at what that looks like without the props, you can go ahead and move the props out of the way. And again, you want to set yourself up in the same way. So if you need some help measuring the distance between the arms, you can, just like we did with the strap on the arms, we can do that without the strap. Take hold of the bottoms of the triceps, make sure the fingers can wrap around. This is the distance you want in between the arms. So just like that, holding on to them, you can go ahead and bring the elbows down and then release the arms. Palms go flat onto the earth. Now the tendency, and the reason we use the props, the tendency is for the elbows to splay out and the hands to come in. So you might start out here, and as you grow tired, you might end up more like here. This is another reason that many people go with this variation with the hands clasped, is because it's a little bit easier on the shoulders. But it also creates a little bit more instability in the shoulders because we're no longer in alignment. So, measuring the distance between the arms, bringing the elbows to the earth, the palms flat. You want to press down into the palms, down into the forearms. Go ahead, lift the seat, tuck the toes, and then lift knees and hips high to the sky, just like downward facing dog. Again, notice if you're collapsing down here, press the earth away. Feel the shoulder blades pulling down the back. Might feel like up the back since you're upside down. And press the chest back towards the legs. Maintain a sort of hugging inward with the arms to prevent them from splaying out towards the side. So you don't want the elbows splaying out. And again, the head can relax here. You can bring the gaze to the mat. You can bring the gaze in between the feet. Or if you'd like, you can lift the gaze and bring it in between the arms. This lifting of the gaze in between the arms is a good preparation for coming into forearm stand or Pincha Mayurasana, which we will not get into today, but that is where the gaze will be for that pose. Go ahead and release. And that's it. That is your dolphin pose. This is also a great variation if you are sensitive in the wrists and downward facing dog starts to cause a lot of strain or any pain in the wrists. Always feel free to come on down to the forearms, take dolphin pose in place of downward facing dog. A great way to relieve some of the pressure on the wrists, since we do spend quite a bit of time on the hands in the yoga practice. I hope this has been helpful. So when you hear dolphin pose cued in any future class, you'll have an idea of what to do, where to go with it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop them down below and I will get to them later. Thank you for joining me today. Have an awesome rest of your day. Namaste.